Ever wondered how the aroma of freshly baked bread fills up your kitchen, or how a drop of ink spread through water? Welcome to Science on the Street, a fun-filled program that takes science from the lab to the streets. I am Okeme Chubiojo, and today we will be learning about the fascinating world of diffusion. I am very sure you are curious to know what that means. Join me as we ask this question on the street of the popular area 2 just beside the National Library to find out who knows what we are talking about. Stay tuned. I want to test your scientific knowledge a little. Do you know what diffusion means? Diffusion.
Yes, many years ago I know what's diffusion, where something is being diffused. I think in the primary understanding, when you say diffuse, that means you are diffusing something for something else. So,
I want to test your scientific knowledge a bit, right?
All right.
Do you know what diffusion means?
Diffusion?
Diffusion, yes.
No,
Like scientific diffusion.
I don't know what it means.
I want to test your scientific knowledge a bit. Do you have any idea what diffusion means?
No, I do.
You have no idea.
No.
I want to test your scientific knowledge a bit. Do you have any idea what diffusion means?
Diffusion?
Diffusion, yes, diffusion.
Yeah, I think it's a chemical word for having two components changing to become something, a reaction that is happening, a kind of a reaction that is happening chemically that is going to change a particular substance to another substance or something like that.
I want to test your scientific knowledge a bit. Do you know what diffusion means?
Diffusion
Diffusion.
is a topic in biology,
Okay.
but
Just try. I'm very sure you know it somewhere in the corner of your head. Try. What is diffusion?
I don't.
What is diffusion?
Please, you can ask my sister. She can bail me out.
No way. I refuse to believe that nobody remembers what diffusion is. I will definitely try again. Let's try again. What is diffusion? How will a layman understand diffusion?
Okay. How am I going to put it? Okay. Whenever gases react,
Okay.
they do so in volume and in a simple ratio.
Okay.
Okay, so for instance now, the lower the molecular mass of a gas, the higher the diffusion.
Okay.
Good. So if I'm operating the world of science like you said, so what I mean by molecular mass is, for instance now, when you understand the definition of an atomic number, in which define the proton of an element, are you following?
Okay.
Good. So when you add the, okay, let me use CO2 and then methane for instance. Both of them are gaseous in nature. So when you calculate the molecular mass of CO2, it will give you 44 grams per mole. And when you calculate the molar mass of methane, it's going to give you 16. So you could see that 16 is lesser, and then the molecular mass of CO2 is higher. So the diffusion rate of methane will be higher than the carbon 4 oxides. So diffusion is telling you in this state that the lower the molar mass or molecular mass of a compound, the higher rate of diffusion.
Oh, thank you very much. What is diffusion?
Diffusion is the process where particles move from a more concentrated area to a less concentrated region or surface or something like that. Yeah.
He got it! High five! So I want to test your scientific knowledge a little. What is diffusion?
Diffusion is a chemical reaction based on my own understanding.
Okay.
It's like, let's take example of artesunate injection. That's the injectable one. You understand? Is in two form, like the powder and a liquid form, which you use in dissolving the powder form. For my knowledge, that is what they call diffusion.
Okay,
yes.
so the process of the dissolving of.
Yes, it's a chemical reaction on its own. It will even you even see it the way it's forming and all that.
Okay, so that is diffusion.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
I want to test your scientific knowledge a little. Do you know what diffusion means?
Yes.
Okay.
Diffusion is a process by which fluids move from a higher surface to a lower surface. Okay,
Okay.
that's all.
Okay. That was a nice attempt. A movement of molecules from a higher level of concentration to a.
Lower level of concentration.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the quiz segment of Science on the Street. I am still your host, Okebe Chibioja. We are still talking about the absorbing world of diffusion, and today here with me is Mr.
Benjamin Joshua.
and
Mr. John Kennedy Ozuluke.
okay, so as usual, I will be testing your knowledge on this vital topic. So Mr. Ben, can I call you Mr. Ben?
Yes, you can.
Yes. So Mr. Ben here is a returning guest. He was here in one of the episodes and he had a great time. I can say that because he said so, that he had fun and he learned something, right?
Yes.
How do you feel being on the show again?
I feel excited, and I think I would give my best.
This time around? Okay. Now, he said that because he's yet to redeem himself. The last time he lost. Okay, so for the sake of our viewers,
Okay.
can you do a brief rundown about yourself, your educational background?
Okay. I'm Benjamin Joshua
Okay.
from Kaduna State, Zango Katef, and I studied at Federal University of Technology, Mina, mathematics, and I'm currently a core member.
Okay, he's a core member. How about you? Can I call you Mr.
John,
Kennedy?
Yeah, Mr. Kennedy is fine.
Okay.
All right, so I am John Kennedy Ozuluke from Anambra State. I studied geology from the University of Nigeria and Nsukka, and currently I'm a co-member as well here in
Okay.
Abuja.
Two core members. Let's see who is going to shame their institution here today.
How about?
You have implicated your institution because you just called where you schooled. Okay, so before we delve into the quiz segment, on this particular topic, diffusion, we were on the streets of Area 2, Abuja, here in Abuja, just beside the National Library. And to my greatest dismay and shock, a lot of students did not have any idea about diffusion. They have not been taught or they have forgotten the topic. I sincerely cannot say. Now, whenever we go out for Science on the Street program, of course, we meet people of diverse age range, people in their early 40s, sometimes late 40s, even early 50s, and also the young people like students, teenagers, and people in their early 20s, late 20s. And one thing is peculiar about all these people we meet. It's so surprising to see that people who are already advanced in age remember some of this, scientific concepts, their meaning, their definition, while young people who are students, they don't remember. Like, I'm surprised. It wasn't impressive at all. So I'll start with you, Mr. Kennedy. What do you think the problem is? Is it our educational institution or our students are distracted? What is actually happening to you from your perspective? What's wrong?
Okay, so personally, I think it's not just about the educational system.
Okay.
Yeah, educational system play a major role, but if we understand that whatever we learn is for ourselves and not just to pass exam or for the teachers, perhaps we might put in more effort into understanding instead of cramming. So back to your question, I think the way some of the teachers teach, I won't say all, because the fact that you still met people who still understood and who still remembers this thing, given that they've actually been out of school for a long time, means that yes, knowledge was passed. And those people, as you mentioned, have not passed the age of teaching, meaning that, their sets are also teachers, meaning that they could have actually been teaching students the concepts, possibly, or maybe they're teaching them in such a way that they just don't understand. But at the end of that, I think it's a combined effort of both the school and the students. If the students pay more attention and also go further to understand better and learn better, perhaps they will be able to retain more. And if the teachers find practical ways of teaching beyond abstracts, then perhaps they will also understand more. Because this particular topic, I can clearly remember in SS1 when we were taught how the teacher used some experiments, and that is why I can still remember them till now. Yeah, thank you.
From your perspective, Ben, what do you think the problem is?
Yeah, from my own perspective, I think some of the children or some of the students are not giving the attention, like they are not paying attention to what they are being taught in school.
Okay.
And some actually pay attention because there are other students too that you ask these same questions and they will give you the right answer. So I feel most problems are actually from the children. From the students in my own perspective.
Okay. Because at some point I would want to think that because of how the world is evolving, there are already, better ways to convey education, to teach, and to get the attention of students. And a lot of schools have embraced this innovative way of teaching and learning, so that students don't feel bored, about learning in the classroom. So
perhaps that's why I think that it's a combined effort of both the teachers and because if you find innovative ways of teaching, I mean, to be honest, for probably a 13-year-old or 12-year-old, telling them about diffusion without making them really understand is not going to be easy, because they have to try to understand some concepts. That you're going to hear concentration, you're going to hear gradients and all those things. And if they don't understand, if they don't break it down in such a way that they actually understand what you're talking about, that it's simply the movement of gaseous or maybe water or liquid molecules from an area of high concentration to the lower concentration, you don't understand it, it will be hard for them to remember. It is not like ability to do work that everybody will just not forget.
Wow, yeah,
so
I don't think I would ever forget that one.
Exactly. So I think it's also the way they actually teach. That's why I wouldn't want to entirely say it's the fault of the students or the fault of the teachers, because if you meet 20 students and none of them can remember it, when it may have been taught, I wouldn't say it has been taught, but let's assume that it may have been taught to, let's say, 15 of them, then there's something wrong. At least 2-3 should remember. Let it be that the teachers are trying, but some of them are playing. But if none of them can remember, it means that something is wrong with how that the education was carried out. That's my opinion.
Let's delve into the quiz proper. So this is how it works.
Okay.
I have 15 questions here and a tiebreaker. So you both have the opportunity, because I can decide to call out any question for you, but you have the opportunity to pick any number. I read out the questions and their options. Then you tell me what you feel or the answer is. How about that?
I think
that works.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's fine. So question 1 is usually a general question. So now the question here is, what is diffusion? I will start with Mr. Ben. What is diffusion?
Okay, diffusion is the movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration.
Okay, so what about you? What is diffusion?
Okay, just like you said, diffusion is primarily the movement of gaseous molecules, sometimes liquid molecules, from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration due to the concentration gradients. That's due to the change or difference in the concentration of the two endpoints in question. Thank you.
So who goes first? Who picks a number first?
He started, let him continue.
Okay, so you continue.
Yeah, I'll go with question 2.
Question 2, okay. What drives the process of diffusion? Option A says energy from the sun. B says the natural tendency of particles to distribute evenly. C says external forces. And D, the temperature of the environment.
Wow.
Tough one.
Yes.
Okay.
The option again.
Okay, the options.
Yes.
Option A, energy from the sun. B, the natural tendency of particles to distribute evenly. C, external forces. D, the temperature of the environment.
Wow. I think I will go with the temperature of the environment.
The temperature of the environment. Okay. That's option D. Oh. Okay. That was a very good attempt, but the answer is option B.
The
The natural
tendency.
tendency of particles to distribute evenly.
Oh god.
Oh, but
Okay,
that was
okay,
a nice
okay.
attempt.
Yeah,
You
okay.
have a lot of time to redeem yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so number what?
Oh, you said 3.
3. Okay.
Okay.
You decided to go in order.
Mm.
That's fine. Okay. What happens when you add a drop of ink to a glass of water?
Okay, what happens is the ink diffuses evenly over a given period of time in such a way that the concentration of the water becomes evenly distributed based on the ink.
Okay. Over to you, Mr. Ben.
Question 5.
Why did you skip 4? Do you feel like it's one tough question, one easy question, so you skipped 4?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Does diffusion require energy? Option A says yes, it requires a lot of energy. B, yes, it only requires a small amount of energy. C, no, it occurs naturally without energy. D, only in some cases.
Oh, God. Well, I would say only in some cases.
Only in some cases. What about you? Have a contrary opinion?
I'll actually say C. It does not require energy.
Okay, C says no, it occurs naturally without energy.
Energy, yes,
So
that's
it's
what I
just a
think.
natural thing.
That's what I think.
Okay, so the answer is actually C. Yes, the answer is C. No, it occurs naturally without. So what number will you go with?
Okay, do 4.
4. Okay, sorry to take us back. That's fine.
Let's move on.
In which of the following scenario does diffusion occur?
Okay.
I take that again. In which of the following scenario does diffusion occur? A, nutrients traveling in cells. B, fragrance filling a room. C, A and B. D, none of the above.
C, A, and B.
You didn't even want to you didn't want to think it through, like.
He said A is nutrients
Traveling in a cell.
traveling in a cell. B is
Fragrances
filling
filling a
a room. I think both of them are correct.
Both of them are correct.
Yes.
What if I told you
That one of them is wrong.
that both of them are actually correct?
Obviously, yeah, I could argue
Okay,
it.
that's fine. That's fine. Mr. Ben. Question 6. Okay, so we're going back to following the order of things. What is the end goal of diffusion? I take that again. What is the end goal of diffusion? A, to create pressure. B, to establish equilibrium. C, to increase temperature. D, to decrease volume. Tricky.
I think I'll go with B. I think I'll go with B.
Why do you think so? Why? Because
option B is what it is.
to establish equilibrium.
To establish equilibrium.
Because I remember you said the diffusion, when you drop a ink in the water, it spreads evenly.
Yes.
So I think I'll go with the equilibrium.
Option B is correct.
Okay.
Okay, so question
8.
8. Okay, following the other things. How does diffusion relate to a cell function?
Okay.
How does diffusion relate to cell function? A, it helps cells grow. B, it allows nutrients and waste to move in and out of the cell. C, it has no effect on the cells. And D, it changes the shape of the cells. The options again.
Yes.
Okay. Option A says it helps the cell grow. B, it allows nutrients and waste to move in and out of the cells. C, it has no effect on the cells. And D, it changes the shape of the cells.
Okay. I'll go with option B.
B,
It
okay.
allows nutrients and waste move
waste
in.
Yeah,
What
that
about
yeah,
you?
I agree with him.
You go with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the answer. The answer is B. That's correct. Oh, Mr. Ben is finally decided to step up. Okay. So over to you.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Okay.
Okay. Which scientific field study diffusion? Which
Wow.
scientific field?
Field.
Field, like
Okay, yeah,
field,
sure. Yeah, area of concentration.
study diffusion. A. Chemistry. B. Biology. C. Environmental science. D. All of the above.
All of the above.
Do you even want to think about it?
So I
All
don't
of
get
the above?
confused. Yes, all of the above.
Okay, all of the above is
correct.
correct.
Yeah, thank you.
You're going with 10? Oh, wow, that's fine. What do we mean by high concentration? Concentration, sorry. Concentration, high concentration. A large number of particles in a small space. B, a small number of particles in a large space. C, particles that are not moving. And D, particles that are too hot.
Concentration. I will go with particles that are too hot.
A, a large number of particles in a small space. Mr. Ben! Mr. Ben! Okay, Mr. Kennedy, over to you. Question 11.
Yeah, let's go in order.
What effect does temperature have on diffusion? That's almost, similar.
Okay.
What effect does temperature have on diffusion? A, it slows down diffusion. B, it has no effect. C, it speeds up diffusion. And D, it stops diffusion completely.
C, the speeds of diffusion.
Really? Is that your final answer?
The effect of temperature, right?
Yes, the effect of temperature on diffusion.
I said C.
C is the answer. It speeds up
Diffusion.
Okay. 12. Why is diffusion important for environmental conservation? I take that again. Why is diffusion important for environmental conservation? A, it helps in energy production. B, it influences how pollutants spread. C, it has no relevance. And D, it creates new substance. Why is diffusion important for environmental conservation?
The options again.
A, it helps in energy production. B, it influences how pollutants spread. C, it has no relevance. D, it creates new substance.
Let's go with option A.
A, it helps in energy production. Are you sure is that one you want to? Before you jump,
I'm not saying anything. Did I say anything?
Okay.
I mean, he could be right. Who knows? But
Okay,
I
so
didn't
it
say
helps
anything.
in energy production. Oh, it helps in energy production.
Diffusion, importance. Let me see. Option B is what?
It influences how pollutants spread.
Okay, yes. I think I'll go with option B.
B.
Yes. It influences
He's now
how
like
pollutants spreads.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with him.
Oh,
It's
you agree with
yeah,
him. You
it
need to
influences
agree with him,
how
because that's
pollutants.
actually correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have question 13 since we have decided
Yeah,
to go
in
with
order. Yeah, in order.
Okay, so when substance mix due to diffusion, what are they seeking?
It's
A,
not clear again.
reaction. B, separation. C, equilibrium. D, concentration.
C, equilibrium.
Equilibrium is the end product.
Yeah.
And you also agree with that. Okay, so yes, it's correct.
Okay.
Equilibrium, correct. Question 14 for you.
Yes.
What can diffusion teach us about medical treatment? Okay. I go again. What can diffusion teach us about medical treatment? A, how to dissolve pills. B, how drugs distribute in the body. C, how to mix chemicals. And D, how to increase blood flow.
I think I'll go with how drugs dissolve
In the body.
system. Yes.
I agree with him. B.
Okay, so why?
Because I feel how will I say it? When you take drugs, it dissolves just like the way cube of sugar does it, and it spreads easily to every system, to all to your systems.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I
you're like,
think
oh, how drugs distribute
yes.
in the body.
Because
Oh,
once you take it, it will definitely dissolve in your body.
and to reach
Until
that place, especially
everywhere you want
the
it to
one
go.
we take for painkillers.
Painkillers, yes.
Okay.
So I think I'll go.
That's like the closest one I can think of. So that's why you have decided to choose that
Yes.
option. What about you?
And it's also in the medical part.
Okay,
In the medical part. Okay.
I think, just like you said, so when drugs dissolve, obviously at the point where when you swallow it in your stomach in question, it becomes very concentrated, the content, and so it begins to seep out to different parts of the body. I think that's why I think it will make sense that is why they use it in medicine.
Okay, that's fine. It's actually correct. So question 15 goes to you.
Yeah.
What happens to particles during diffusion over time? A, they become solid. B, they disappear. C, they spread out evenly. And D, they create pressure.
C, they spread out evenly. Yeah.
Okay, and that's also correct.
Thank you.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. I must say,
We are
really
smart people, don't worry. Our schools are trying.
Oh, yes. I would say that. Oh, you want to give accolades to your school now?
Please, thank
Won't you take some?
I try, shall, but I think, I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. That's beautiful. Mr. Ben, how do you feel?
Yeah, I lost again. But I think sometimes we win, sometimes we lose.
So this is just one of those ones you have to be like,
you try again.
but at least what was the experience for you?
Yeah, it was okay, fantastic.
As usual, of course. That's why it's Science on the Street quiz segment.
Quiz segment. Yeah.
Okay, and Mr. Kennedy, how do you feel?
It's cool. I mean, it just brings back memories, of those days, and it's nice. It's cool. Yeah, that's how I feel.
This is learning with a touch of nostalgia. Do you understand?
Exactly. It's a reminder, nostalgic feeling. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So in the spirit of sportsmanship, you shake the
Yes,
winner for today's quiz segment.
Congratulations.
Thank
It's
you.
not easy.
It's not easy. Yeah.
Thank
But
you.
I'm glad you both had
Yeah,
a
we
great
had
time.
fun.
You
Yeah.
had value for your time. And I'm very sure our viewers also had a great time listening to both of you go on and on about diffusion. I am sure they have learned something new.
Yes, sure.
Hopefully.
Right?
Exactly.
So I would say thank you so much for being on the quiz segment of Science on the Street.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. And that's all on this quiz segment of Science on the Street. I am still your host, Okebe Chibioja. Stay tuned. Well, that's a wrap on today's edition of Science on the Street. I hope you are excited about the science behind diffusion and its impact on our world. Do well to follow us across all social media platforms to watch this episode and more. Till I come your way again next week, I am Okeme Chubiojo. Do not forget, science is for everyone, so keep exploring, asking questions, and stay curious. Bye for now.